Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good morning everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is having a great longer weekend. It's President's Day weekend. I really needed this extra day to kind of recharge. Crazy week last week. I mean, really crazy week. Very, incredibly aggressive. And by Tuesday, right, the fact that the action was so darn aggressive, you started to really get, run down. It's so easy, again, to kind of go on tilt mentally in this business. So days like this, these long weekends are incredible just to kind of recharge the battery and very necessary. So something very unusual happened, right? I have a brother. He's 16 years younger than me. Okay, so he's 29, 30 years old. I'm going to be 46. I'm going to be 46 in June. And a couple of days ago, he texted me and he said, "Hey, what's a good broker to open up an account?" And I just gave him a couple of names, and he said, "Well, I'm finally going to do it. I'm finally going to open up a brokerage account." Now, before everybody turns around and say, "Well, this is the top of the market," let's take a couple of things into consideration here. Okay, number one, he's not looking to trade. He's not a trader. That's not what he wants to do. Okay, he wants to take a couple of bucks that he has, start building kind of an investment portfolio for the next 10, 15 years. So that's kind of what he wants to do. The problem with that is how he got here, right? So in the last 10, 15 years, right? He's never had an interest in the market, okay? Never had an interest in the market and didn't care about it, didn't care what I do, my involvement with the market, nothing to the point. So I finally asked him, I go, "Well, why did you finally pick now to start getting exposure in the stock market?" And the first thing he told me was, and get this, okay, "I heard Wall Street goes up every day." Wait, what? Not the stock market. I heard Wall Street goes up every day. So the second follow-up question was, "Well, Dan, let me ask you a question. In my first year, right? What should I expect to make?" So I asked him, I go, how much money are you putting in your account? He goes, "Oh, probably a couple $1,000s." So joking around, obviously sarcasm filled through the nines. I turn around, I go, with your lack of account size and your I'm talking about zero knowledge of the stock market, okay, you're probably looking at least around $300,000-$400,000. And he said, "Wait, what?" Here's the reality, guys. Okay, here's the reality. I asked him specifically, why now? And again, his response was, "I heard Wall Street goes up every single day." The problem is a lot of traders, a lot of new traders, and again, take him out of the equation, okay? Take him out of the equation. They hear a lot of things because there's so many platforms on social media and the whole beach, car, watch, vacation lifestyle, okay? People have a lot of expectations. Zero knowledge, zero funding, okay? Zero foundation to achieve, or at least take the first steps to achieve whatever they want to do, but they have a lot of lofty expectations. The idea that he would ask me how much he's expected to make his first year with absolutely zero knowledge of Wall Street going up every single day, not the markets, but Wall Street going up every single day. And keep in mind, this is the same kid who asked me 5-6 years ago on Thanksgiving, "Hey, Danny, you working tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What time are you opening up Wall Street tomorrow?" I said, around 10:30, 11. Okay, so unfortunately, taking him out of the equations, a lot of people do hear that Wall Street goes up every single day, and they figure, "Well, you know what, I'm entitled to make a couple of bucks." And they have all these lofty expectations, and they open up their first brokerage account. And now they're sitting there waiting for this big bag of gold to kind of hit in their laps. And obviously, we all know what happens. They go from euphoria to anger, to depression, and they ultimately go away. Guys, understand this. Okay, number one, as we all say all the time, you need funding. Okay, you need funding. Okay, I understand some of you guys, especially when you're in the early 20s, you don't have a lot of money, right? You just don't. It's just the reality of 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is that it may look. My advice to you is very simple. Okay, there's something called trading. There's something called learning to trade, investing, understanding market dynamics. Okay, your first 2, 3, 4 years. Okay, look at it as college. When you go into college, and most kids, when they go into college, they don't even know who they are, right? They have to, it's kind of like the 4 years they have to find themselves, okay? They don't know what they want to do coming out of college. They don't know what type of field they want to pursue when they graduate. They don't know anything. All they do know is they partied through high school. High school was awesome. It was great. It was fantastic. Now it's time to kind of be an adult. So trading is kind of the same way. Okay, number one, you need funding. And then the old question is, how much money do I need? You need a lot of money. Just reality. If you're going to trade, not invest, if you're going to trade, you need money. You need a lot of money. And the question is, how much is enough? It's never enough. You need a lot times 10. Okay, the more money you have in your account, the easier it will be to digest information, and the faster your emotional levels will kind of go away. The smaller amount of money that you have in an account, okay, your emotional levels will continue to rise because, again, your plus or minus degree of exposure, okay, your trial and error is very, very small. Okay, if you have a $2,000 account, you lose $200. It's 10%. Okay, so it's very, very important to understand you do need funding. Okay, I don't care about these whole $5,000 to $50,000. Enough. Okay, that's all fine. That's great. And if you're doing one of these things and you're growing your account, there's nothing wrong to have a smaller account, but grow it naturally, grow it organically. You don't need to turn 500 into 5 million. Just turn 500 into 600, 600 to 700, so forth and so on. Again, everybody starts somewhere. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a smaller account. Now that that's out of the way, when you're first starting to trade, okay, because of the whole social media lifestyle nonsense, and especially you see that on Instagram, incredibly a lot, incredible. I'm just incredible. I don't even follow any of these guys, and somehow they always pop up on my thing. If you look at my Instagram, it's all about my kids, it's all about my dogs, like nonsense, sporting events. So I don't post anything to do with work. Why would I? Okay, why would I? But yet I still see these guys all the time. The same 22-year-olds with their yachts and their rentals and this, that, the other thing. That's great. That's fantastic. And unfortunately, again, that's spilling over into the expectations of the new trader coming into Wall Street, right? Wall Street goes up every day. Okay, so your first 2, 3 years, 4 years, okay, forget about the money. Just forget about it. You know, you're looking at it all wrong. It has nothing to do about the money. It's finding yourself. Okay, who am I? What am I? What's my risk tolerance? What's my lifestyle? What's my monthly expenses? Okay, where do I want to go? Where do I want to be in 5 years? I want to be rich. Okay, who doesn't? Okay. You have to find out who you want to set. In that 3-4 window, okay, what you're looking to do, your most important job, is to try to figure out exactly what type of trader do you want to be. Okay, you want to trade options, you want to trade mid caps, small caps, currencies, futures, you want to trade pivots, okay. What do you want to do? You want to trade credit default swaps. What do you want to do? What is your identity? That's step one. Okay, well, actually, that's step two. First of all, you have to have some money. Okay. The next thing you do, okay, and forget about the money, okay, forget about the money. You have to absorb. Your only job in the first 2, 3, 4 years, just like college, you're trying to absorb as much information as possible, okay, to set yourself a foundation. If you don't have a foundation, again, just go back to the 3 little pigs, right? One house is made of straw, one house made of leaves, whatever the hell it was, and, well, the third pig made his house full of bricks. That's the one who stood the test of time. So your job is not to be rich. Your job is not to find this magical pill that's going to turn $500 into $50 million. Your job is to understand market structure, understand the dynamics of where the market is at all times. Again, do you go long right now? Are you really looking to go long right now in the market and it goes linear? Identify the difference between a linear market, a mid-tier market, and a market that's bottoming out to start going higher. Again, you always want to understand which way the wind is blowing. You can't just trade blindly. It's like somebody turns around to me and say, well, Dan, tomorrow, if it's tomorrow, what stock do you want to swing for the next year? I mean, look, the market's up 6 million % in the last 30 seconds. Okay, how much exposure do you really want at the top of the market? Again, the stock market going higher, a stock's strong, yes, and all that stuff. But again, all this stuff is kind of important to kind of your future development. So it's not about you turning $500 into $600 and $600 into $7,000. It's all about understanding what a bid and ask is. Do you know what a bid and ask is? Do you understand the importance of why you have to watch level 2? Well, level 2 doesn't dictate stock prices. It doesn't, absolutely right. But level 2 will show you if there's a reload buyer, reload seller. Just ask this schmuck what happened to me Wednesday when I overstayed my welcome on a reload seller on Tesla, right? Took 8 points out of my life. Okay, so you have to understand the moving parts of the stock market. Okay, you have to understand the moving parts of trading. Okay, why technical analysis matters. Why understanding which interval you're trading matters, which understanding with distribution versus consolidation is a big difference. All these things matter, okay? And if you are in this game and your whole game is to turn $500 into $50 million, and that's great, it'll never happen. It just never happen. You need to learn how to sit up, right, like a little baby, sit up, right, crawl, walk, and then you run. It's not reverse engineering. You don't go from sprinting to sitting, okay? So it's very, very important to understand. And for a lot of new traders, again, because of this whole Instagram, right, Instagram reality, you guys are screwed, right? You guys are screwed because, again, you guys want to believe that this is possible, okay? You want to believe that this could happen at any moment, that you are willing to skip or at least have the blinders on. You are willing to omit the necessary 3,000 steps it is to actually fulfill that lifestyle. And by the way, guys, just as an FYI, nobody with money talks about money. Just saying. Just putting it out there. So again, when you're learning how to trade or learning how to do any single trade, okay, just understand that there's proper steps to put you in a situation that your future is looking bright, okay? And expectations in this business is one of the worst things you can do because, again, what are expectations, right? It's the heightened of all your emotions. That's why I say every single day, you know, I have no expectations coming in, okay? I have a game plan. I understand my opinion of the market. I'm looking for confirmations. Again, no expectations equals, right? Think about it. No expectations equals no disappointments. When you're coming into a day and say, is it Monday yet? Okay, and you're looking to buy the highest stock of the day for 10 cents and the stock crashes on you, you're back to square one and you're all depressed and you can't figure out why it's not working for you because the kid on the yacht, right? The kid in the yacht that's only 3 months older than you is living his dream. So it's very, very important, guys, okay? Forget about the money, okay? Stop looking at your P&L. Stop looking at the day-to-day. The first thing you should do tomorrow is just try to understand market structure, okay? Just watch the screen, okay? Watch the price action for a full day. A lot of times, you don't need to trade to figure out what's going on, okay? And the more times, it's because trading is all repetition. The more times you see a scenario play out over and over and over again, throughout the years, it becomes normal. It's not a surprise anymore. It's not something that you are looking at and you're shocked about. It's all about a daily grind and just to kind of put yourself in a situation that you are staying solvent. So the idea that, my brother, how much money am I expecting to make? Dude, you don't even know what a bid and ask is, and you're asking me how much you're willing, how much you're gonna make this year? Relax, take a step back, read some books, watch some videos. There's a lot of really good information out there. You have to sift through it, okay? But again, just understand your foundation is what's necessary. Forget about the money. Forget about it. The money comes, okay? Whatever your process is, you're an options trader, futures, Forex, Bitcoin, anything under the sun, okay? Get the process down, get comfortable with the process, okay? Get confidence in that process, and then all of a sudden, and you'll see how magically it becomes, all of a sudden that, that foundation that you've built, it starts paying you. Okay, you start seeing dividends, but it doesn't happen before. So going into tomorrow, guys, again, shut off your P&Ls. Okay, stop worrying about how much money you're going to make in a day. Does it really? If you're a new trader and you have a $3,000 account, does it make a difference if you made $40 or lost $40? I mean, honestly, does it really make that difference in your life? Is your day going to be so much better or worse for it? No. You're trying to consume as much good information as possible. You're trying to omit as much bad information as possible. Forget about the whole Instagram lifestyle. It's all about building foundation for the future. So let's talk about it. Crazy market, right? Crazy market. Tesla all over the place, up, down. You have offerings, the coronavirus. You have so much stuff going on, and yet the market doesn't go down, right? Just doesn't go down. It's just absolutely amazing. It really is amazing. And every single day you turn around and you see that first big candle down. You say, well, this is the sell-off, right? Like, again, you woke up. I woke up Thursday. I woke up. What was it? Thursday morning, and I saw the news of that debt offering on Tesla. I go, oh, I know I lost money, right? I needed closure for Wednesday. I couldn't figure out why I lost money in the trade. Why was there a reload seller? Well, he knew there was a debt offering coming up. And the most amazing part, not just in Tesla, kind of really shows you the strength of this market. Just like a mirror image of Tesla, the market keeps on getting bought. And again, the whole theory of buy the dip works until it doesn't. That's true. But again, the real theory of the buy the dip, it's never in a bull market scenario. It's like me turning around and saying, wow, I love XYZ. If there's a rising dip tomorrow on the 60-minute support, it's a pretty good area to get back to the stock. That's not called buying the dip. That's called you're getting more attractive prices what you saw the previous day at a much more feasible level. And the most amazing part about it is if you look at the scoreboard and you see 1% on the Dow, 1.5% on the S&P, and 2% on the Nasdaq 100. It really doesn't paint the picture of how really aggressive the market is. And again, one has to wonder. And again, I have a lot of friends who've been doing this for a very, very long time. And some of them, like 2 months ago, just stopped shorting based on how high the market can get. They just stopped, and it's just a really good testament of again, the market never need to do anything that you want. Okay, people say this all the time. Well, the market's too high. Based on what? Based on your opinion, right? It never needs to do anything. The market's never overbought. It's never oversold. Fair value is literally fair value. Is the last price at 4 o'clock. Again, just keep on asking the people on Tesla, both long and short, if you're trying to pick that magical bottom, if you're trying to pick that magical top, how good they've been doing, right? I mean, again, you could get lucky, absolutely. You can get lucky, and Tesla could be at 1,500 by next week, or it could be 300 by next week. We don't know, right? We don't know, but the whole point is it really does show you how completely on a different level this market is. You hear this all the time. Take your level, take your trading to the next level. I don't know what that level is. I don't even know what that means. But this market literally is on the next level. So, going into this week, again, my first instinct is always, it could reverse. It could reverse. It could reverse. And I've been saying that literally for like a year. Okay, because again, I know what happens when you're trading with the blinders on. But at the same time, again, it doesn't really take away my ability to trade from the long side, because again, I'm trading within these channels. I'm not buying 52-week highs. I'm not shorting 52-week lows. I'm trying to catch the meat in between these channels. So, I could see a macro picture playing out. So I'm trying to make sure that nobody gets caught in that macro picture. But again, you have to assume that the bulls, until they get really, really tired, and even just kind of using Tesla as an example, even an offering gets bought. Again, life imitates art, and art imitates life, and yada yada yada. We got a ridiculous bull market. So the question's going into this week. Again, how long do we last? Again, we've been kind of bumped up against this linear regression line on the Qs now for 4 days, right? Again, the question is, do we bust through and go to 236.5 on the Qs, or do we lose the 5-day moving average at 232 and start going lower? Again, the most amazing part is I have an opinion, you have an opinion, and again, it doesn't matter. We just have to wait for that price action to come. Crazy week. It started out pretty good. Monday, Tuesday, very aggressive action. Tuesday, I believe is Monday, I believe is one of the most smoothest days I can remember. Like everything seamless, completely seamless. And then Wednesday, I ran into Tesla, and I thought I caught a really good, sneaky, aggressive pivot, and that's right. That's when the seller, that one reload seller, and I couldn't figure out why I lost money in the trade, and I wound up losing about 8 points in it that day. I recovered some of that trade on Thursday. Okay. And Friday, I had a pretty good day on Friday. But overall, I mean, just an insane market. You kind of start to run out of superlatives. It's just more of kind of controlling the risk every single day. And as long as you're controlling the risk every single day, you are going to be fine. So again, cautiously optimistic going into this week. Top of the market here, we're looking at the 235 reclaimed by the bulls. And if you are a bear or at least a sell bias trader, you are looking for a remount or reclaim of the 232 level on the Qs. Let's talk about Friday's action. Super aggressive. I mean, super aggressive. This BTAI that I put out on Thursday's list, and I looked at it on Friday. I go, is this the same stock that's $39? Again, if any of you guys held this thing, great job. 22 to 39 is amazing. They came out with a $150 price target. But this is a very aggressive day. NVIDIA I caught pretty well. What was great about Friday was I traded NVIDIA and I traded that BTAI. What was great about Friday, especially at the open, again, the open, and this is where I always recommend to newer traders, of course you're going to get the most aggressive potential in the first 30 minutes, but it's also going to open you up to the biggest exposure. And I can't tell you how many times when the market is very aggressive, okay, how many times, yes, I could catch that $2, $3 trade, but damn it, one reload seller comes in, I'm getting hit the other way. So for all you new traders, I think the safest thing to do, especially for all you guys who are joining us over the weekend for tomorrow for the live webinar or even the private Twitter feed, start your day after 10 o'clock. Just trust me, start your day after 10 o'clock, at least for the first couple of months, because the action slows down, the bids and offers get tighter, and the liquidity gets better. Okay, yes, you're going to miss that $3, $4 move in the first 15 minutes, but again, it's all about safety first and understanding price action. Remember, your brain cannot consume the information that fast if you've never seen it before. So just kind of a tip of advice, just start your day after 10 o'clock. Believe me, it starts getting so much slower after 10 o'clock as far as price action goes. Obviously, if you're an experienced trader, been doing this for a long time, if you've been trading pivots for a long time, yes, obviously the biggest value, the biggest explosion potential is always in the first half hour. But again, understand your experience. So this is a really fast trade. 289.50 just exploded. I mean, really exploded out of the gate. Like a really big move. Again, NVIDIA came out with earnings, right? NVIDIA came out with earnings. It was all good. Here's the sneaky pivot. This was it right here, and just absolutely exploded. I mean, really exploded. It went as high as to like 295 on that remount. I mean, really big trade. I was in this thing out pretty quickly, pretty aggressively, but boy, oh boy, that's a beautiful job. Congratulations to all you guys who caught that. NXTC never came close to confirming, never even touched that area. So I still like it for next week. Again, guys, set an alert. Just because they don't go, the day that we're looking at them doesn't mean they're not valid for the future. ZS broke that 92.70, 93, put in an original opening range high of 93.08, and then never confirmed, went all the way back down. Facebook, I like. Okay, it never got to the 15 level, but I do like Facebook going into this week. Okay, if you look at Facebook's chart, and you can see here why this 115 area is so important, right? Excuse me, the 215 area. It keeps on getting rejected here. You see it? Everybody see it, guys? It keeps on getting rejected here on the supply. If Facebook could just reclaim 215 and this market continues to go higher, there's a room, man. There's a lot of room on this thing. Look at the gap. It could fill all the way up to this 218.50 area initially. So I still like Facebook. Obviously it didn't trigger. Roku, complete reversal. I was looking at the opening range highs of 153.50. Obviously never got there. If you look at the 153.50, right? If you look at the 153.50, this is the area I was looking to confirm. Obviously never got up there, but boy, what a reversal! A heck of a reversal on Roku. AXNX, way too thin. BYND never got there. We finally got an earnings date. Okay, that's the good news. We finally got an earnings date on BYND. I think it's February the 27th. So at least we finally have a date when they're going to release their earnings. Obviously, they never got down to the 111 area. Netflix gave a move. Netflix gave a pretty good move here. Again, only a few bucks, but again, here's a sneaky pivot. Again, we're not looking at the top of the channels. Here's a sneaky pivot. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You have 5 candles, 5 hours worth of distribution. Once it broke above that 83 level, it went to like 84 and change, right? 84 and a half. Again, this area here, 85, 50, 86 will be the next leg on the macro view, so always keep an eye on that. So good job there. Here's the trade. Man, I was in this thing, I would say I was in this thing for like 40 seconds. It put up like $1.50 candle. I mean, really, really quickly before it started selling off. Boy, oh boy, crazy trade. 39 needs to build on BTAI. Right, so here's the 39. Right, so here was the 30. Excuse me. Here was the. It was this area here. So here's the 39 area, and it just spiked. It just spiked. It was like I was in this thing literally like a minute. Big move there. Not a lot of liquidity, but big movie. Regardless, stock turned around, went higher. But again, it's just amazing. This is the same stock we talked about a couple of days ago from the $22 range. Hell, I would never in a million years think the stock would double over 24 hours. So if you got that, good job as well. Again, here's where your expectations, right? Here's where your expectations have to be curbed. 3 weeks ago, if I told you, Netflix, Tesla would move up $7 in a day, $8 in a day in that candle, you'd be like, wow, what an amazing move, right? Look how boring. 805 needs to build. And this is kind of where we are. 805 needs to build. So here is the sneaky pivot here. Here is the sneaky pivot where we are. 805, right? 805, 805, 805. And it went to like 812, 813. They're usually $7, man. If this was 3 weeks ago, I'd be doing jumping jacks. But because the stock is so illiquid now and this trades like $1.50 spread, man, you got to trade such smaller size. So a $7 move on this thing looks great on paper, but boy, oh boy, man, it's not even close to the same. I miss the days, right, of trading channels only 3 weeks ago, right? The good old days that Tesla was trading at a 30-cent spread with liquidity, 3,000 share offers on both sides. Man, those $2 candles are worth so much more than these $10 candles. Again, if you're trading the option side, that's great. If you caught the Tesla bug the last 2-3 weeks, that's great. But boy, oh boy, I can't wait till liquidity returns in this thing and these channels get shrunk. But again, nice job for you guys who took Tesla as well. Again, big move on NVIDIA, big move on a pretty decent move on Netflix. Tesla take on the way up. Work, it put up a 38-cent move. I'm not a big fan of these things. I think any stocks that you like to trade on strength, especially non-beta, it's much easier to buy them on that first dip at the rising support. If you can see here, that 28 break went to 28.30s, but if you bought it on that first rising support, you had an 80-cent potential there. So again, it's not really my thing, but if it's your thing, it's your thing. $28 move there. New highs only went up like 30, 40 cents. So pretty aggressive day, pretty aggressive week. I think to say pretty aggressive week was an understatement. Again, going into this week, I'm always very conscious of where I am. Again, the last thing I want to do is catch the euphoria bug and pretend the market can never go down. So I'm always cautiously optimistic until the bulls give me a reason that they are tired, that we need to start reshifting our energy to the downside channel. So let me give you guys some ideas for the week. Okay, let me give you guys some ideas for the week. All right, so I kind of like this CRTX. I kind of like the CRTX here. Big move on Friday, right? Big move on Friday. Broke a consolidation that started out in December. As you can see here, the high here was 73. It put in a high of 73.84. 2 ways to play this thing. Again, this is kind of what we talked about a few minutes ago. It's not buy the dip. It's buy the washout that's going to give you much more attractive prices where it was on Friday. So we're either looking to buy the rising 60-minute support or a remount over 74. So let's keep an eye on that. I like this TLRA, right? TLRA for all you guys who are trading non-beta names. Again, high here is 1182. The high on Friday was 1186. If it could start building 1190.12, it could start a next leg up. So keep an eye on that. NTCO. right? It looks like a fairly new IPO. Keep an eye on this thing. 23, around 24. It starts building 24. There's a little bit of a band here, so you have to make sure this band is under 24 tomorrow. But if this thing could start building over 24, you could get a move up. And let me give you one more non-beta name. Yeah, keep an eye on this Ruby. Nice looking chart. For all you guys who are trading smaller names, 1096 is the high here. 1091 is the high here. If it starts rebuilding 11, you could get a move to 12, 12 and change. For everything else, guys, please get for all beta, Tesla, Netflix, beyond everything else in between, please get to Morning Strategy early. We'll cover all the early morning pivots. So again, for all you new traders, again, forget about the money. Find out who you are. Find out who you want to be, and slowly but surely build your foundation. Guys, have a great week. God bless, and I'll see you all in the field tomorrow. Take it.
Congratulations for putting in the time to take control of your trading. You're one step closer to owning your future and achieving the success you desire. Want daily trade ideas directly from Dan, straight off his personal watch list? Unlock our free PS60 Vault, where you'll get nightly updates on pivot opportunities we're watching for the next day's session. Click the link in the description to get started today.